Yo, what's going on, people?
What's up, y'all?
We out here gabbing. Come on. Invite all your friends. Invite all your followers. Come on, come gab with us. Come gab with us. Let's go. Get up in here.
Hey, everybody. What's going on?
Jump on in.
And we got some good stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, we'll talk about a few things. And we want to hear from you.
Definitely want to hear from y'all. If you can see at the bottom, our phone number is scrolling.
It is.
If there's a topic that you want to discuss,
jump on in.
Jump on in.
Got a few that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we do.
But we still want to hear from you.
Definitely want to hear from y'all.
What's up, Karen? My cousin Karen. What's up, Ashley?
Hey, Ash.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Let's jump on in. We hope y'all are having a great Saturday.
Yeah, it's nice outside.
It's real nice outside.
It was a beautiful day.
Yeah, but last night I was scared.
Yo.
What? It wasn't, I wasn't scared, but I was startled by the rain.
You were definitely scared.
I was like, what in the world?
Yo, don't let Nina front on you.
Is it a tsunami outside or something? What's going on?
Well, let's do our intro. Welcome to Gabbin with the Guilders podcast.
Yes.
This is the podcast of your favorite. This is your favorite podcast of your favorite married couple.
Yes. I'm Nina.
I'm E.
Yeah.
We're about to get into some things. It's in the 80s out there.
Wow. It's in the 80s.
In Michigan.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the 80s. I don't know about anybody else. I'd rather just be, just like mid 70s.
I like the 60s.
You would.
I like the 60s, partly cloudy. That's my vibe.
You would.
I mean, it's cold enough where you can wear a hoodie, but it ain't so hot where you gotta wear a coat.
Yeah, true.
You still wear jeans, you know what I mean? That's my vibe.
Yeah.
That's where I want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I need to be at to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
So what's up with all the people? Saying shout out to all the people in our watch parties, all the people that are on our YouTube, on our Facebook. What's going on, y'all? And look, we're on YouTube. These at the bottom of the screen, you can see all the places you can connect with us. Go ahead and shoot us a follow on our Facebook, Instagram, our Twitter. If you have any questions on our email, you can do that. And if you want to just, you want to give to the podcast, you can through our Cash App, Gabbin Guilders. But yo, listen, a lot of stuff went on this week.
A lot.
A lot of stuff went on this week. I want to start with last night.
Okay, what happened last night?
You.
Me?
Yes.
What?
Jumping out the bed in the middle of the night, waking me up.
Okay, first of all, let's be clear.
She woke me up, yo.
I did not jump out the bed.
She literally jumped out of the bed.
I did not jump out the bed.
She's lying.
Got out of the bed like I normally do to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
She's lying.
But I sat on the edge of the bed because I was astonished.
Oh, you were astonished
by the rain that was pouring down the side of our house. I thought it was a tsunami.
She literally jumped up out the bed, y'all. I mean, she jumped.
I said, what in the world? What is going on in here?
Definitely jumped out the bed.
I did jump.
She definitely jumped out the bed, yo. She jumped out of the bed.
Chill.
And hit me when she jumped. You know how like you go like this? When you jump, you go,
Yo, I need you to chill.
That's what you did. That's exactly what you did.
Not what I did.
That's what you did.
Move on.
That's what you did. She jumps out the bed.
So what was the point? So why? So
all I'm saying is,
okay, so
you woke me up.
Okay. That's all you want to talk about last night?
I just look, anybody that's in here that has a significant other. Don't you hate when your significant other in the middle of your REM sleep, the rapid eye movement, that's when you're catching that second wind, and boom, they kick you, they punch you, they hit you for no reason, that wakes you up. And then now you got a problem with going back to sleep because they done woke you up in the middle of the night.
I'm so tired of you already. Anthony wants to talk about you crying last night.
Well, guess what? We're
live.
not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about
You
that.
mind your business. Good God.
Oh Lord. So anyway, what else do we want to talk about?
Look at Kia talking about get over it. I'm sure
that's right, Kia.
I'm sure your husband be mad at you.
Right.
You probably
get over it
because she probably sleeps wild. Women have a history of sleeping wild.
I'm not gonna talk about how you sleep.
Women.
Okay? I'm not gonna talk about the fact that.
No, you're not gonna talk about. Well, don't talk about it then.
Okay, I won't. Because I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yes, you are. You ought to do. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you want me to.
No, you would have brought it up.
You want me to talk about
you
how you snore like a bear.
So.
And I have to make you turn over just so I can sleep.
She's lying.
For like 5 minutes.
She's lying. She's lying. She's lying.
Just saying.
I do snore, but she ain't never made me turn over.
Whatever.
I know last night she punched me in my chest, like backhanded my chest. Boom, woke me up. Babe, you hear that?
Do that? I don't believe you.
You hear that?
I don't believe that I do that stuff.
Nina.
I need you to record it.
Nina.
Emire.
You hit me all the time while I'm asleep.
I need you to record it because I don't believe it.
I can't record something. You know what? I'm gonna set up the camera.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
I'm gonna set up the camera. But you can't sleep in light. You have to have the TV on. Okay. You know what? Since we're here, we might as well praise him.
Oh. What?
She has to go to sleep with the TV on every night.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I need the TV on. I do. I need it on.
Why do you need the TV to sleep?
It's just always been a thing of mine. Always been a thing.
Drives me insane.
Come on, ladies. Is there any or men? Is there anybody out there that's with me? You got to have a TV on so you can go to sleep. Now, see, in the middle of the night, the TV just turns off and I'm okay.
And then you turn it back on sometimes.
Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes
she turns it back on, and it drives me insane.
Okay, let's talk about something else because you getting on my nerves.
You get on my nerves too. Just waking me up in the middle of the night. I mean, but yo, no cap. It was like really raining outside. After she woke me up.
Did anybody else hear that rain?
Did you hear that?
Over?
Did you hear that one big thunder?
Surrounding areas?
That thunder was crazy. That joint was like, dude.
Yeah, it was crazy. And the lightning.
Oh man, it was crazy. It
was a silent lightning.
It was. Oh, look at my cousin Karen talking about TV on. So that's you right. Too.
Oh, Kia. Sorry, sissy. Well, yeah. Okay.
I'm just tired of you like always hitting on me, waking me up every time you go to the bathroom. And I mean, we got a huge bed, I must say.
You know what?
And you still find your way. What are you doing over there?
What do you mean? I'm looking at the comments.
No, you over there. I think she's grocery shopping while we're on live.
Whatever.
Are you grocery shopping? Tell the truth. Are you grocery shopping?
Yeah.
See, this is what happens.
Listen,
that boom woke me up out my sleep. It did. It woke up. I think it woke up the whole city of Dover, the whole state of Delaware. That boom was loud. That boom was so loud yesterday that I mean it. I ain't gonna lie. We woke up at the same time, but she actually hit me because I heard it, and then I was like, "Ooh!" I woke up, and then she hit me.
So you're saying I hit you when the boom happened?
Yeah, it was like boom, and you just kind of like did that, and then I woke up, but I heard the boom also. Because it wasn't just like a boom. It was like a boom. It was a wow.
It was.
I mean, then you heard the rain behind it. And I mean, I really thought we was on our way out of here. I thought we were in a flood. Mm-hmm. I mean, it felt like, I don't know. I don't know how your house felt last night, but my house was rocking.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like that joint was about to come off the frame.
I didn't even know it was supposed to storm like that. I didn't know.
Look at Kid.
I thought it did something to the house because it was so loud. Yeah,
it was so loud. It was really loud. Like
yeah,
it was extremely loud.
That rain was like, I don't know. It was like buckets of water, like literally, like you turned on a hose.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. Full blown hose. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, so what else happened this week? Because there was some stuff that you wrote down.
Oh, so let's talk about TV and movies.
Spoiler alert. So listen, we're going to be talking about some shows and we're going to be talking about some movies we've been watching in quarantine.
So,
okay, just to let you know, my wife is an avid TV watcher.
I am.
Tell them about yourself.
I'm an avid TV watcher. That's it.
No, don't do that. Yo, you're so Say, dude, what's that now? Come on, man.
No, I like just about everything.
Yeah, she
I
loves
really
TV.
do. I like soap operas. I
Oh,
like
God.
talk shows.
Yes.
I like cop shows. I like
Judge
suspense, Judge Judy,
Judge Mathis.
Grey's Anatomy.
Oh yeah, you're a big Grey's.
Station 19, How to Get Away with Murder, and it's gone now. I'm so upset that it's off the air.
Oh god.
What else do I watch?
Love and Hip Hop?
Botched, Love and Hip Hop, all the Love and Hip Hops, Real Housewives of Atlanta.
So you don't watch none of the other Real Housewives?
No, I only watch Atlanta.
So did you watch the Housewives before the Atlanta?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not watching them.
Okay, I was just wanting to know because there's some people who are just Real Housewives fans.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but yeah, she watches a lot of TV. I mean, every day we have a load of TV to watch, which also brings about great conversation. I really listen to people who are married or in relationships. Listen, TV is a great way to always keep that conversation rolling.
Absolutely, it is.
Great way. Great way.
Absolutely.
So go ahead. Let's get into it.
So I don't know how many of you watch Tiger King on Netflix.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Joe
Exotic.
He's the man.
And the boyfriends or husbands or whatever
yeah,
it was a hot mess.
Joe Exotic.
Okay, so for those of you that did watch it or are watching it, they have an extra episode that came out. I can't remember the comedian's name that did the episode, and kind of what he did was he did a recap and like what are they doing now.
Yeah,
so he wanted to talk about, okay, what is everybody that was on the show doing now, and so that was the latest episode. So we were watching it and everything. None
of them have anything good to say about Joe.
No, except for the girl, the one that got her arm mauled.
But she still says she's not surprised about Joe being in jail.
No, she says she's not surprised about him being in jail. But what she said is that she also really fools with him. Like she still supports him. Where everybody else said that they don't fool with him.
That's messed up, man.
But here's the thing that I got out of Tiger King that I personally did not really appreciate.
What?
I didn't appreciate the fact that they made Joe Exotic out to be this villain, because the lady, what was her name?
Carol Baskins
is doing the exact same thing that he's doing.
Yeah, she's just letting them die, I believe.
She's just putting a different swing on it.
Well, I don't think she's actually killing. Like, I think that
no, she's not killing. She's not euthanizing. Is that what they call it?
I don't know.
I don't know what they call it. But anyway, she's not killing them. She says she's not breeding them. So what she was trying to say, basically, in short term, was that Joe Exotic was breeding them and then killing the ones that I guess maybe weren't of value. So what she did was, because he basically was getting more or making more money than she was.
But really, was he though?
I don't think he was. I think that she thought he was. He was direct competition for her.
Yeah.
And so I think what happens is, like, when you become these internet sensations, and that's what they became, that's how their platform started to grow. She got wind of him and he got wind of her. And when you're in the same type of career or in the same venue, you start to hate on the other person that might be doing a bit better than you, right?
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
She reported him to PETA. And then what she did is she grew a relationship with PETA so that they would back her in what she called her sanctuary. Where she rescued animals.
Yeah, she was a rescue.
Yeah, but she still had people coming in to and put them on display. So it was like still like a zoo.
Yeah, the crazy. Okay, here's the thing that messed me about Joe. Well, Joe and Carol Baskins. They were like killing the game. They are like master manipulators. And let me tell you why. They're master manipulators because they had these people eating and working for basically nothing, for slave wages, to be around animals that literally can kill you. And I mean, Joe was just like, look, I'm gonna give you a raggedy place to stay. You're gonna work with these animals, and I'm gonna feed you old Walmart meat.
Yeah.
He was straight up and down with it. Carol, on the other hand, was going, well, you know what, you can go through this mentorship or whatever she calls it. What do you call those things when you go in college? Not mentorships, but
internship.
You can become a part of the internship and you work this amount of hours a week and we don't pay you. And then after this 13 months or something like almost like a year internship, then they'll start giving you like a little bit of money. It wasn't even a lot of money. It was like a small.
She just had a different type of organization. I think for her, she had the look.
The look? What do you mean the look?
Okay, so Joe Exotic was not the typical person that you would want to be around.
Nah, Joe's a little different.
He was very high strung.
Yeah.
He cussed at all his workers.
Oh yeah.
He was a really kind of nasty type person, right? And he wasn't willing to open his doors to other things or other ideas. It was his way or the highway.
Yeah, Joe's gonna let you know this is my show.
Yeah. Now Carol Baskin, on the other hand,
she's allergic to him though.
So she says.
She said she was allergic to cats.
That is so dumb.
She said she was allergic.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm just telling you what she said.
I know what she said. I watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that she had the look. She was branded a certain way. Her people had uniforms on.
Yeah.
She had them in different phases of, internship. Like you would come in as an intern and then there would be something else that you would do. And then you would go to the next level and then you would go to the next level. So that's kind of how it went. But I mean, it was a very interesting show.
I enjoyed every second.
I think it was interesting that he got indicted and actually went to jail.
And he's in jail for a long time.
Yeah, like 30 some years.
Yeah. And I mean, he got all these pages. He got free Joe Exotic. But Joe was like this anomaly of a person.
He was.
He not only, first of all, he's in Oklahoma.
Yep.
He's gay.
Yep.
In Oklahoma, in the country. I'm talking about in the desert.
And what did he run for? He ran for
governor.
He
ran for governor.
Yeah.
Nobody even knew. I would have, let me tell you,
silly.
If we would have known that he was running for governor, we would have definitely watched that.
Yeah, that was silly.
I would have got a gift. I'd have got different kind of cable or something just to watch Joe Exotic and see what he's doing in the polls. Not only was he gay, ran for governor, had a zoo with exotic animals.
Mm-hmm.
He had the nerve to be married to two men at one time.
Yeah, that I don't know about.
And he was a minister.
An online minister.
He was an online minister. Joe was the man.
I cannot. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Come on, man. Yo, Joe was fired. Joe was fired, man. Like, look, Joe did everything. He did it his way. Frank Sinatra said, was it Frank Sinatra said he did it his way?
Yeah.
Joe did it his way. Yeah, Joe did it his way. And then the add insult to injury, he made it. I think what happened with Joe, what messed Joe up, is the fact that he got over obsessed with Carol Baskins.
He did.
He got obsessed.
He got over obsessed with her. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he was obsessed with her.
And that was his downfall. So that was the end of that. So yeah, they just did like a recap episode. Where's everybody now?
Yeah.
And what's everybody's frame of mind? What they're doing? And his zoo or whatever he called it is actually still open.
Yeah.
That rich guy that came in, I remember his name.
What's his name?
Oh shoot. What was his name?
I don't know. Remember. He wasn't even really rich.
No, he really wasn't. But he actually is still running it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So the next thing is about Joe Exotic. They are actually going to be putting together some type of series, like a mini series, or
I thought this was already a mini series.
No, that was a Netflix documentary.
Okay.
So now they're putting a mini series together, and they're talking about Nicolas Cage
as
playing Joe Exotic. I totally think he can pull it off.
You know who I would have loved to see be Joe Exotic?
Mm-hmm.
Two people.
Who?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Mm-hmm. He played that weird boy in that movie when his dad was beating him up and stuff.
He's not old enough to me. Like he doesn't have. Okay, not that he's not old enough, because Leonardo DiCaprio is probably around my age, but he doesn't have the same body structure to me to pull
as Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey probably could pull it off, but you know what it is about Nicolas Cage to me?
What?
He's crazy.
So is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio is not.
I'm not saying crazy, but he has played roles.
No. It's something about the personality of Joe Exotic that Nicolas Cage can absolutely do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, he probably couldn't pull it off.
Yes,
he probably can put Leo. Yo,
yeah.
Who's Leo? Yeah, Leo. That would be crazy. Leonardo DiCaprio as Joe Exotic. Oh man, that's crazy.
I don't think it would look right.
I really don't. Look at artists. Artist says definitely Jim. Yo, y'all come over to the Gabbin with the Guilders page. It's on the thing.
Y'all move over.
Move over to the page so I can see what y'all saying in real time. So
anyway, that's what's happening with that. And then like I said, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a great show. So this was Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Who was a Philadelphia lawyer turned professor, and so she got
she did both at the same time.
Yeah, she did both. She was still a lawyer, but she had a group of kids that wanted to study under her. She did like a group of interns.
Well, she would pick interns from the class, right?
She would pick interns from the class. They would do like, tests and things like that, so she could see who would mesh together and who could work along with her.
Right.
And as time went on over the seasons, murders happened. They committed murders. They were a part of murders. They were winning cases and jacking stuff up. It was craziness all the time. Like one of the kids died, that was in the group, so they tried to cover that up.
They covered up her husband's death. And then at the end, the very last part of it, which was so crazy, spoiler alert,
is that her
look at the best show ever.
The best show ever. Her husband had an incestuous relationship with his sister.
What?
Yes, his older sister. And Annalise Keating, who was Viola Davis's character, Annalise could never figure out why his sister would hated her so much, right? She couldn't figure it out. She was like, I for all these years, never understood why she can't stand me and all that kind of stuff. And then at the very end of this show, they revealed that was going on between them. Yeah, they had an incestuous relationship. It was crazy.
That's bananas.
They had a baby. Come to find out, the baby was Sam, which was like Annalisa's right hand. He did all her dirty work. He killed people, kidnapped people, tortured people.
What?
He did all kinds.
I ain't gonna lie. I missed a lot of episodes.
It was so good. And what I loved about it,
hold on 1 second. Something changed. Hold on 1 second. It's gonna go out for a second, but we're gonna be. We're back.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back.
So the great thing about what happened at the end of the show, you know how shows go off the air?
Yeah.
And they don't really tell
they said Frank was the son.
I said that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Frank was the son.
Okay.
Yes. What I loved about what they did with this show is they took you into the future. So I don't know if any of you have ever left a show kind of thinking well, what happened? Kind of left it
James is back.
Ended open, and you're like, I wonder what happened to them. What happened to the baby? What happened to this one? What happened to that one?
Right.
And what they did on this show is they fast forwarded it maybe 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
And showed them where they were at Annalise Keating's death.
Yeah.
So they were all at her funeral. The kid that was born during the show was grown now.
Yeah, they did.
He looked just like his father. So the same character that played his father.
That was Laurel's son, right?
Laurel's son.
Right.
So he played the son. And then, they just all kind of showed each other and where they were at in life.
Right. It was a dope show. The ending was kind of crazy, but the reality of the show is they got away with it.
They got away with murder.
And the only person that really didn't ride with Annalise was the girl. What was her name? The black girl. What was her name?
Oh Lord, why is everybody's name?
Well, anyway, she ended up taking a deal, and she ended up becoming a judge. But the thing about it is, every single person literally left that. Yeah. They ended up good.
Yep.
I mean, well, the one dude.
Oh, Artist was all into.
Yeah. Artist love.
Yeah, Wes and Christopher. Yep.
Yeah.
So Wes, the guy that played Wes, also then came back at the end of the show and played his son Christopher.
That's correct. And look just like, well, I mean, it was the same person.
That was the whole point. I think.
Yeah.
So it was good. That was good. So that's off the air now.
Yeah.
Michaela.
I know it was
right. Something.
Michaela, she
became a judge.
Yeah, she took the
deal. She had children. Yeah, all of that.
She must have stayed cool with her pop.
Probably.
Yeah, because he was loaded. He had money.
That was kind of weird how her father came onto the scene too.
Yeah, he was a weird looking dude.
It was weird. It was weird. You could tell that there was something about him that wasn't really quite told in the story.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of holes.
I believe, when he came on, it was kind of like, okay, we just need to bring him on, right?
Yeah.
But I think that him and Annalise had some type of connection.
I think they
somewhere down the road.
I think they talked about their connection though.
I don't remember that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't remember it.
Yeah, I think they knew who each other were.
I think they knew who each other was, but that doesn't mean that they had any dealings. That doesn't mean they ran in the same circles or that they had an experience.
Well, I will say that Annalise definitely had she was promiscuous. You know?
She was powerful, child.
Yeah, Annalise was promiscuous. So she had a lot going on. So it ain't no telling she could have messed with, with him and one of her. You know.
So that was that for How to Get Away with Murder.
He said they were fooling around. I thought they were. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back.
But listen, How to Get Away with Murder. If you want to watch a good show,
that's a great show to watch.
Yeah. I wouldn't advise y'all to try that stuff now. Okay. Don't try to kill somebody and think you're gonna get away with it because you're not. Okay. They was high powered people, man, and they kind of got away with it, man. They kind of got away with some stuff. Yo, we want to give shouts out to everybody that's watching us on the watch parties. We want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching us on YouTube and Facebook. But listen, if you're in one of me and Nina's watch parties, what you can do is come over to the Gabbin with the Gilder page. Come on over to our page, right? Come on over to the Gabbin with the Gilders podcast page. That's the page to go to, and I think I have it highlighted inside of my my watch party, so you can click on it and come on over and we can see your comments there. And we have a call-in number if you want to call in and just
discuss any of the topics.
And discuss any of the topics. We'll give you like a little minute. Call in. The number's 302-469-3311. It's rolling on the screen. Let's go.
All right. So next subject is I don't know if anybody ever watched Demolition Man, that movie.
Demolition Man.
Yes. You remember Demolition Man?
Yeah, I remember
Sylvester Stallone.
That was a long time ago.
And Wesley Snipes.
Long time ago.
So guess what I found out?
What you find out?
I found out that they are going to have a sequel.
A Demolition Man?
Yes. Of Demolition Man. Who in God's name?
What? Say new, what's that now?
It was Sylvester Stallone. It was Wesley Snipes. And it was Sandra Bullock. Hilarious.
And they're really going to do that.
Yes. That's what they're going to do.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
So I heard that in the news last week as well.
That's a lot.
Yep. That's a lot. A lot.
That's really a lot.
Yep. Oh, and then the last show I want to talk about is, I don't know if anybody...
Play ball. Yes, I remember. Play ball.
I don't know if anybody watches this show. It comes on NBC, I think on Friday nights now, a show called The Blacklist.
Yo, that's the best show on TV, hands down. Raymond Reddington is the man. Blacklist.
Love it.
Crazy show. Hold on. Did we are we able to see? Didn't it come back? Is it a show?
So what happened in this last episode? Spoiler alert. The last episode. Yep. See, Artist watches this show too.
Yeah, Artist is a TV watcher.
So last episode for Blacklist. So for anyone that doesn't watch it, this show is about FBI agents who have a what do you call him?
Not an operative. He works for them.
But he's a murderer. He's on the what do they call that list? Top 10
most wanted.
Most wanted. Okay. So he's on the top 10 most wanted list for FBI.
Yeah.
Basically what happens, I think we're in what, 3 seasons?
I don't know what season we're in. We've been watching it from the beginning.
Yeah. So whatever season they're in, Raymond
Reddington.
okay, is this top 10 most wanted.
Yeah.
He starts working for the FBI to get a deal.
Well, he basically
so that he
has a
doesn't
deal.
go to jail.
Yeah, he has a deal.
Yeah, but as
he
time
gives
goes
them cases.
on, that deal starts to kind of fall apart.
It's a bit convoluted.
It gets really interesting because the main character, Elizabeth, is the reason why he wanted to be a part of this FBI group. I don't even know what they're called because they're not real like regular FBI.
Yeah,
they're like
they're like an exclusive group of people.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, what are they called? A special group.
Yeah,
kind of like nobody knows about.
Yeah, they're special agents.
Yeah, special agents, and so they are basically using him to get all of these blacklisters.
Yeah,
and blacklisters are considered like the most dangerous people in the world.
Black site.
What is that?
I don't know. Some artist said black site. Denora said y'all watch Ruthless. No, we don't watch
I
Ruthless.
don't watch Ruthless.
We can check it out though.
That's that Tyler Perry show. I think Denora texted me and asked me to start watching it.
Yeah, we'll start. It
started out on regular BET, I believe.
Okay.
And now
we got BET Plus, so we can watch it.
It's a BET Plus show, I think.
Okay, we'll check it out.
Yeah, but anyway, Blacklist. So yeah, a whole bunch of stuff happens. A whole bunch of killing. He kills a bunch of people, but they can't touch him. He wants to find all these treasures, all that kind of stuff. So this last episode of Blacklist, because of the coronavirus, and this will lead us into our next subject, they are not able to go into the studio to obviously film for the show.
Yeah.
So when the episode started, the actors got together and started telling us what had happened, when they were notified about corona and how they had to shut down production.
Yeah.
And they were in the middle of this particular scene.
Yeah.
And so what they decided to do was their creative and production staff decided that, hey, we're going to, try something different.
Yeah.
And what they did was they took the pieces that they had already filmed in the studio and they integrated it with cartoons.
And it's fire.
Yo.
It's fire.
It was amazing.
It was. I thought I was gonna hate it.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna like it either. Because sometimes voiceovers sound kind of artificial and they don't. You know what I'm saying?
It looked like some Batman. It looked like some Batman stuff from back in the day.
It did. And it was old school Batman.
It was old
Robin.
school. It was fire.
And it was amazing. So check out Blacklist.
Yeah,
That's another
check out
good
Blacklist.
show to check
out Blacklist. Well, let me just say, Raymond Reddington he works. I think he cooperates with the FBI.
He does. He cooperates with them.
And what he does is
to a certain extent.
Well,
let's just be honest.
I'm about to get there. Okay. He cooperates with them. He gives them cases, but the cases that he gives them are always for his benefit in some kind of way, and they don't even know until like the end why Raymond is allowing certain things to happen and why he's giving them,
these people,
these cases.
Yep, that's true.
So
that is
if you want to see that, he's probably one of the most. I mean, Raymond Reddington, in my opinion, according to the show, is like one of the most powerful underground dudes in the world. Because he ain't just no city dude. He ain't your regular, this dude is a whole gangster. And I mean, there's nothing he doesn't bootleg or like have a hand in. Where I mean, from money to gold to artifacts, locations, people, just I'm talking about stuff that can hurt the world. Like, he's on another level. He's on another level.
He is. It's crazy.
Yeah. So,
and he even he did something to his deal with the FBI. I believe it was in last season. It was in the middle of the season. He did something that had him be able to go on trial and actually be put back in jail.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting out. It was crazy.
Yeah. Red is the man. And he's not even the real Raymond Reddington.
No, he's not. That's what we all found out at the very end. So, okay, that's good. So that's another show you guys are going to want to watch.
Absolutely watch that show.
Netflix television. So, best thing out right now, and it actually has probably been out for a long time.
Yeah, everybody
just didn't get to it. Was Ozark?
Oh yeah, Ozark. Oh my God, Ozark, man. This last season of Ozark was crazy. Yeah, crazy. It's unbelievable. But
Ozark was crazy. So this is season 3 of Ozark.
Yeah.
If anybody watched Ozark, we have a family of 4. We have Marty and Wendy, who are the parents. Marty is a financial guy who ends up working for the cartel to wash and launder money.
That's what Marty does.
And his partner gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and the ball starts rolling. Marty literally saves him and his family's life.
Yeah.
And goes basically on the run to continue to work for the Mexican cartel.
Navarro,
yeah. And so he has to move to the Ozarks.
Yeah, because that was like a place where he wanted them to watch the money. It was low key. And like, people don't know, but the Ozarks actually is a really nice place.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shoreline there. So it's a nice place. And
so let me tell you, we were talking to one of our friends, Michael. We were asking him had he watched it. He said, no, I can't really get into it. It was kind of slow. So I'm gonna tell you.
And we was like,
say, dude, what's that now?
Yes, we were.
What?
Because it's so amazing. Like, it captures you. Now, I will admit, season 1 was kind of slow. However,
not to me.
Season 1 had to set up
everything,
what was going to happen
in these next 2 seasons.
Season 2 sped up for sure. Oh my gosh. Like, almost first episode in.
But the end of the first season, in the middle of the first season, things started to happen. And I mean, it all rolled and everything is starting to make sense.
Yeah. And then season 3, this last season that they have out on Netflix.
Crazy.
You just gotta watch it.
Go watch it.
You have to watch it.
You gotta watch it.
Binge watch it.
Yeah, it's something to do during quarantine.
That's good. All right, that's all I got on TV for this week.
That was it?
Yeah.
And you said someone was gonna lead us into our next topic.
COVID-19.
Let's talk about COVID, guys.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, listen, it's here. It's something that I feel like we need to talk about. And the reason why I said we need to talk about it is because I just feel like a lot of people have a lot of things they want to say about COVID-19. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, everybody has something to say. We see stuff on news every day. It just needs to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, conversations need to happen. People need to talk about it and get even if it's something that's on your chest about it that you don't,
something you don't understand, something you don't like.
Because guess what? I don't believe
you've seen.
I don't believe anybody understands everything about COVID-19.
No.
I mean, especially when you hear stuff like this. Okay, listen, I'm about to play something, y'all.
Okay.
I'm about to play something.
All right.
I'm about to play something from our fearless leader, right? Fearless leader 45. Now, he said this. Hope y'all ready for this. This is what he said. Hold on. Here it goes.
The antiviral drug that the FDA has warned against using outside of clinical settings.
Listen to what he's about to say.
I had a 2-week regimen of hydroxychloroquine, and I've taken it, I think, just about 2 weeks. I think it's another day. And I'm still here. And I tested very positively in another sense. So this morning, I tested positively toward negative, right? So I tested perfectly this morning, meaning I tested negative.
What does that even mean? What does that mean? I tested positively negative.
Trump is hilarious.
Yeah, what? What does that mean? I tested positively negative, which means I don't know. It's just hard. I mean,
I think the problem is that he is always so ready to be on the defense because he has made his entire presidency about fake news.
Well, I mean, that's what he said. He came out with it, 4 years ago, 3 years ago? That's fake news.
He's made it about fake news. And because there are a lot of Americans in the world that truly do believe that the media is piss poor and that it's a lot of fake news out there, they have jumped on his bandwagon to believe that it's all fake news, right? So now, but see, Trump also has always been a double talker.
Always.
If anybody has ever followed Donald Trump, prior to the presidency, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when he created The Apprentice,
oh my
gosh.
Oh, well,
He used to talk just like what he did right there.
Yeah.
What Denora say?
I hate that it's killing the elderly. The ones lost. Hold on. The ones lost most likely
had many years to live.
Yeah.
Can't call it.
Can't call it though. You know, only God knows.
But to your mind, it makes you feel like that.
Absolutely,
yes.
It does make you feel that way.
It makes you feel like, wow, they still had some more time left.
Yeah. People are, but I mean, listen, let me tell you something. And that's the reason why I feel like we need to just talk things out. Because I mean, you hear that if you hear something like that every day, you hear somebody talking crazy every day and telling people shut up, and then because a Chinese lady asked him a question about COVID, he says, well, you need to ask China. And then act so, be so disrespectful to that lady. Right. It was unbelievable. And I mean, look, we got the call-in number. If you want to call in and you got something you want to talk about COVID or, something, 302-469-3311.
Yeah.
Call in. We'll answer. And I mean, I just think it's a bit crazy that people would, say things like that.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, man.
I think Donald Trump is going to continue to ride out the presidency with the media has fake news, right? That it's all fake news.
But the media has always had fake news, and that was always our thing. We decipher.
I think what happens is that he ends up getting tongue-tied with trying to sound intelligent. And he does not sound intelligent.
Oh God.
And the intelligent thing to do would have been to say,
just shut up. How about that?
I am taking this drug. I went and got tested.
Yeah.
Over the last week or so.
Yeah.
And the tests have come out in a positive manner.
No, I'd have just been like, I tested negative.
I don't really think that I would have even talked about it.
I'd have been like, I got tested. I'm COVID free.
Yeah.
Tested negative.
I mean, he's simple.
Yo, let me tell you, Trump is gonna go down history as one of the biggest gangsters ever.
I can't take it.
Oh God.
It's awful.
And then it's like, it's funny because let me tell you, Trump is doing everything he can to win this election. This next election.
Yep.
And with that being said, he's opening back up houses of worship. He said, houses of worship buildings are allowed to open. Here in the state of Delaware, they said we could have 10 people. That was the rule while we were in the thick of COVID, and we're still in the thick of it, in my opinion. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, but I mean a scientist or anything like that. But
we have an opinion.
I have an opinion, and my opinion is that I still think that we are in the thick of it because most of people haven't been tested. When you look at the numbers and you look at the amount of tests that they put out, it doesn't make sense. There's a lot going on. I think there's some things going on that we don't know about, and just a lot of people have not been tested for COVID-19. So with that being said, I don't feel like a lot of those places should be open, but I'm just gonna go. My church won't be open. We're gonna be doing online broadcast, but
you mean our sanctuary?
Our sanctuary won't be open. And that's another thing. We got to change our language. Yeah. We definitely got to change our language and how we talk about that, because the church never closed. Church.
So that's what I was about to interject and say, is that I think what has happened in our Christianity is that we don't use the right language, because to be quite honest with you, we just haven't been taught correctly.
Yeah.
And there are several churches out there that are still not teaching correctly.
Okay.
Let's just be honest.
You're absolutely right.
Okay. And so what needs to happen is we need to change our language.
True.
We need to learn, believe, and understand that we are the church.
Absolutely.
Not the building that you occupy.
That's true.
Okay. The building, the sanctuary, that is closed. Okay.
Right.
We are not gathering together inside the sanctuary. However, we are still having church.
Yeah.
As we know it. Okay.
Yeah.
What we consider church or deem church, we are worshiping and we are having word. That's why we are so intentional.
Absolutely.
On what we call our Facebook and YouTube lives.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about governments opening up houses of worship? I think at 30% capacity.
Well, that's for Delaware.
That's for Delaware.
I think it's a little different in some of the other states.
Oh,
I haven't
really?
really been following it as much.
Okay.
But I do know that for Delaware, we are now, the governor has said that, excuse me, instead of it being groups of 10 or less, which is what it was prior to tomorrow officially, that you can now have 30% capacity. However, they're asking you to wear masks
and social distance,
to practice social distancing, and all of that.
That's crazy to me.
So my opinion of it is,
what's your opinion?
Is that you need to use wisdom.
And what's that mean?
Wisdom to me means you need to put yourself in the place of your congregation and say to yourself, would I want to be put at risk,
right,
to catch COVID?
So what about the person that's saying, like, well, you go to Walmart, it's a risk there. You go to Sam's, you go to Target, you go to you go outside, you go to the park, you walk, you're on your deck, you're around people. Some people are still going to work. Like if you work at a Burger King or you're essential personnel, you go to work. So it is the house of worship essential.
I don't believe that the house of worship is essential, but I do believe worship
is essential. That's a good answer.
And as you can find other ways to get your groceries and get your essential items to live, I believe that the church, as what we call it, leaders, I'll put it that way, should try to find other ways to stay connected with their congregations and to provide worship experiences.
Absolutely. I've seen so many creative things like, virtual choirs and, our ministry, we do game nights and karaoke. It's all fun,
And I guess, because we're a smaller ministry, we can't have the opinion or the understanding of a larger ministry in a way.
I agree, but at the same time, I think larger ministries make it harder, because if you have a larger ministry, you can do multiple karaoke's, you can do multiple Zooms, you can do multiple game nights. You're not going to have to ever worry about not having somebody to log on, because you have more people who need things to do. So I think even with that, you can do that. I personally just feel like, I see so many. I mean, you see a lot going on social media right now when it comes to should houses of worship open or shouldn't they open? And you have people that say they should. You have people say that they don't. You see people that are like on the fence. Yeah. And I just personally feel like, I look at like what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says. He says, if you see injustice done anywhere and you don't do anything about it or say anything about it, you're just as guilty as the person who did the injustice. So for me, I feel like Trump is doing whatever he can to win this election. And if it pleases a group of leaders in the religious sector to be able to, get what they want, then he's going to open it up for them.
So here's my biggest issue with all of the backlash, all of the discussion.
Okay.
All of the thoughts that are being plastered out on social media, all of the conversations about who's right, who's wrong, what leaders should and should not be doing. We should come together. We shouldn't fight each other.
What is a cicada?
Cicadas. I don't know what that is. Denora, can you explain that?
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, Kia, you're right. So 30%. Keep service to 1 hour and stagger arrival times. But see, I kind of find that hard to understand how you're going to be able to monitor that, because bugs.
The bugs are coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me get back to my point. So my point is that what I believe as leaders, we need to start doing a better job of is educating ourselves.
Yeah.
I understand that we are of the spiritual mind, but we can't be so spiritual that we're no earthly good.
Oh my God.
Okay. And so we have to also seek God for wisdom. And one of the things that we're supposed to do is we're supposed to study to show ourselves approved. And because we live in a day and age where we need to know what's going on around us and in our society, in the atmosphere, what's going on in the world. We need to educate ourselves.
Yeah.
So when you say government can't tell me what I can and can't do in a house of worship,
that's not true.
It's not necessarily true, but here's the caveat to that. If you're not getting the information that you need to make a sound decision,
don't make the decision.
Then why would you make the decision to go back into the sanctuary? We've already talked about it. There's not enough testing.
Not enough.
It's on the news every day that we don't have enough tests out there, that they're running out. You know, some states have enough, some states are in abundance, other states don't have enough. And there's even states out there that aren't testing at all.
Yeah, like just to keep numbers down so they can go into these phases.
So my thought is that because we are leaders, until we know that we have the opportunity, a free opportunity, let's be clear about that, a free opportunity to get tested, to be safe inside of our worship center, then I don't agree with opening the doors to the sanctuary. We're going to
not even at 30%.
Not even at 30%. We're
That's
going to
continue
to move forward
yeah.
and how God has given us to do, and that's going to be the end of it. And I need more information.
Yeah, and I mean, I totally agree. Information out there is so small. We don't even know. We still don't know what COVID really is. You know, we really don't. We still don't. So we don't even know what COVID is.
Know.
So as far as I'm concerned, because at first it looked like just certain people were getting it, then that thing just spread like wildfire. Mm-hmm. So even with that, I'm not. Here's the thing: as a pastor, right? I can't have on my conscience that I brought people inside the church and somebody dies from COVID-19. Mm-hmm. I start blaming myself. I literally saw people talking about, we do temperature checks online before, and we make you sign a waiver. We're doing all this weird stuff, and I'm just like, no, that's too much. That's too much. If I have to sign a waiver so somebody can legally get inside of my place of worship, mm-hmm. I mean the place of worship that I serve, they don't need to be here. Mm-hmm. I can't do that and then play the blame game. Yeah. I can't do that. There are a lot of what ifs.
There are a lot of what ifs,
and I don't want that what if to be, caused by me being negligent and then have a loophole out of being negligent because I decided that I wanted to take a legal aspect. And here's the other piece of it. The other piece is this, man. There's a pastor in Philadelphia. His name is Reverend Alan Weiler.
Yeah.
Reverend Alan Weiler, he does a lot in the city of Philadelphia, man. He was like, he
Enon, right?
Enon Baptist Church. He feeds tons of people. Mm-hmm. He's frontline dude, does the work.
Yeah.
How about he got tested just to get tested to make other people feel comfortable with being tested and didn't have any symptoms, finds out he is COVID positive, COVID-19 positive. Yeah. And he quarantines himself, and he was one of the few asymptomatic people, meaning that he had no symptoms at all, never had a symptom, never felt sick, to this day hasn't felt sick.
Yeah.
Because when he was talking about it, he was COVID-19 and he was quarantined into a room.
Yeah.
At his house. Mm-hmm. And he was doing like all his online stuff like from his room, the confines of his room. And I was watching him and he went on the news and was like, yo.
Yep.
There's a high percentage. Now think about this. There's 28% of the people of the COVID-19 cases are asymptomatic people.
That's right.
28%, but they're letting you go 30% back into a closed building. That does not make any sense to me. It's very much so possible that
I never even put that together.
Yeah, it's very much so possible that many of us could possibly have COVID-19 because
not even know it.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, there are very few people
we're not being tested.
There are very few people that I know have been tested.
Yep.
It's different when you can say, I got this test, I got that test, I got the paperwork to prove it. No, you don't.
Wow.
We haven't been tested. So they're letting you go back into a place, 30% of a place. What about a church that seats? Okay, look, check this out. I'm about to do the math. So if you got a church that seats 3,000 people. Mm-hmm. So that means 10% of 3,000 is what? 300.
300.
So 369. 900 people can be in a building that seats that has a capacity.
That's too much for me. But you know what? Here's the thing, and let's just be clear. People have the choice not to go.
They do. And you know, that's a great point.
They have the choice not to go. If you don't feel safe in going in a crowd of people, specifically because you know the size of your church, then you have the choice to stay home. And I think that's what leaders are going to fall back on, is that you all have the choice not to come. But here's what I'm concerned about.
What are you concerned about?
I'm concerned about those churches that have people in positions.
Okay.
And you decide to open up the sanctuary again.
Okay. And you're essential
worship.
you're essential to
And you're essential to that church, or you're considered essential.
Okay.
And you tell your leadership team that you do not feel comfortable coming back into the sanctuary and gathering in the sanctuary
as one of the 30%.
As one of the 30%. What happens to your position then?
Because it could be a paid position. Like if you're a drummer.
What if you're the pastor of worship?
Yeah.
What if you're the minister of music? What if you're a guitar player?
Over
what
usher
if
ministry?
You're the drummer?
What if you're usher
What
ministry?
if you're the president of the trustee board?
Yeah.
What if you're on any of those, you know, what we consider
essentials,
essential to the church?
Right.
And you say to the leader, I'm not comfortable coming back in.
What happens to you?
What happens to you?
You think this is a way to get people off of unemployment?
Possible.
This is just what ifs. Listen, I want to hear what you got to say, man. Call in 302-469-3311. I want to hear what you say. Yeah. How do you feel about the phasing back in? Like today, yesterday, the beaches in Delaware opened.
Yeah, and I don't even want to talk. I don't want us to stay on the church simply because we're leaders. We need to talk about everything.
Everything. Oh,
yeah.
Manny brought up. He said, let's talk about the maturity of people that are sick and are not honest enough to say that they are sick. Well, you should call in and talk about it. I mean, hey, let's talk about it. Call in.
This is so true.
302-469-3311.
How many times have you gone to work with a cold?
With a cold.
How many times have you gone to work
runny nose?
With a runny nose.
Sore
How
throat.
many times have you gone to work with pink eye?
Oh God.
How many times have you gone to work just coming off of the flu and you may not be all the way through it? These are the things that you have to start thinking about when it comes to this particular subject. Because this particular subject, to the point is, we know nothing about. This is a
we
time
don't know enough about it.
We have never been in before.
We've never seen this before.
And so while we, yes, have to seek God for guidance, we also have to use wisdom.
And what you don't know about, you don't indulge in.
You're going to make a mistake.
And let me just say this, to Manny's point.
Yeah.
Yo, what about caution? This is one of the things that is huge to me. Caution. Everybody is not as cautious as the next person.
Clean.
Cautious, clean. You know, I'm just being. And I'm not sitting here trying to like.
It's the truth.
Be judgmental.
No.
But everybody's caution is different. Children. I mean, if you have a 3-year-old kid, they put their fingers in the mouth and they touch everything.
Yep.
You know,
it's true.
And COVID's not a disease. It's not like AIDS where we're sexually transmitted or something like that. No,
right.
That's not what COVID is. COVID is totally different. You get COVID by a cough, touch, a smear, mail. I mean, you should see the great lengths we go into when getting groceries delivered here. Yeah. Like we have water and bleach, and we wipe off and wipe down every single package. We literally take showers after doing it. Like we are trying to
overly cautious.
We're overly cautious.
Yeah.
But then there are some who are not overly cautious.
Right. And it's to Manny's point, the maturity of people.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to give it another word. The
ignorance?
selfishness
oh God.
of people. Selfishness of people.
Yeah.
You know, you're selfish. If you know that a family member or a friend has the symptoms of COVID, you find out that they have it, and you know you've been around them, you've been in their vicinity, why would you take yourself anywhere?
A lot of people do it.
And that's the problem. That's the reality that we face. And that's why it's hard for leaders to make a sound decision, you know, when it comes to opening up the places of worship.
Kia, a hairstylist with coronavirus worked for 8 days this month while symptomatic, exposing as many as 91 customers and co-workers in Missouri, health officials said.
Wow.
Just to get your hair done, just to get a shape up.
I would venture to say
that's why I'm out here with hats on every day.
I would venture to say that we all know that there are good and bad leaders. Let's just put it out there.
I mean, it is.
There are good and bad leaders
of anything, though, not just
of anything, anything of your jobs,
yeah,
of these restaurants that are open and serving people.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in that kitchen. Let's just be honest. You don't know what's happening in that kitchen. You don't know what happens when it comes from the kitchen to be bagged up, and who those servers are that are bagging your food and then bringing it out to the car, because we have a lot of curbside stuff now, right? You don't know. Yes, we are taking a chance. So could we say that we're making the decision to go back into the sanctuary? You absolutely still do. If your leadership says we're going to open up the sanctuary for worship, it is still up to you and your responsibility to say whether or not we're going to come back in. However, we as leaders can control that. Let
me just say something.
That's how I see it.
And you're absolutely right. As a
we
pastor,
don't control Walmart. We don't control where we get our groceries. We don't control, where we pick up our food. I got that, right?
There's an asterisk there. Not an asterisk, but a
pin.
A pin there. The reason why, because there are some pastors who don't own the ministry.
Own the ministry.
So they are basically hired by a trustee board, a deacon board.
So he has to do what the board says. Ultimately, or lose your position.
And I mean, I think
which could be some of it. Right?
I mean, listen, I'd rather lose a position than lose lives and be responsible for lives being lost, because it's not gonna. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not gonna. The world is not gonna look at the pulpit committee or the trustee board or the whatever board, the steward board or whatever hires you. They're going to say such and such pastor of such and such church allowed his congregation to come back into the house of worship, and that's your name forever. Because let me just and then what you going to do? Preach all those funerals?
No,
you can't go visit them at the hospital.
You can't.
And what happens if I see stuff on Facebook, people still inside these churches shaking hands, touching high five your neighbor, you ain't got coronavirus. But the thing about it is they might not know they got coronavirus. Like, there's something that's called asymptomatic. And when you don't have symptoms, and it's just lying dormant, you still can pass the disease along.
You sure can.
The virus along. So we gotta be more we really have to think about that kind of stuff. And it's not at this point, it's not about finance. We got to stop being selfish about this stuff.
And I think that's what we got to think about too. Let's think about what the message from our officials and Trump is all about.
Right.
Let's just be honest. He is getting pressure.
Absolutely,
from
a lot of people.
Some evangelicals and people that
the religious community at large.
At large. That's true.
And it's kind of messed up because if you are, let's just jump into somebody else's shoes right now. If you're a Muslim right now, I believe you're still in the middle of Ramadan.
Oh yeah, yes.
Okay. He's getting pressure from a lot of people, and I'm not.
He is.
And I'm not defending this guy at all.
It's just not Christians or Christianity.
Okay. He said something. James said something.
People have to understand something. You have to think about other people too. I have diabetes in my family. Diabetics in my family, and I'll rock this baldy for a while to continue to protect them.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
And that's
you can't be selfish in this hour, and that's what it feels like.
Oh, we got a caller.
Okay, you got it. All right. We got a caller.
Got a caller. You gabbing with the Gilders.
How y'all doing?
I'm good. Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Manny. I'm calling from Delaware.
Hey, Emmanuel.
Hey, brother.
How y'all doing?
he just, we're praying for him. He just got a rhinoplasty surgery.
Stop that. He did not.
He just got a rhinoplasty.
He did not.
He got a rhinoplasty.
He had surgery.
Did not.
And he's recovering.
He's recovering from rhinoplasty surgery. So,
and by the way, he does not have COVID-19 because he did get tested.
Yes, before his rhinoplasty. So let's go.
He did not have a rhinoplasty. Anyway,
what's that now?
Oh my God!
Let's go. So
go ahead, Manny.
Go ahead.
What's up?
But I mean, you're talking about good stuff, and one being, I wanted to touch on two things. You talked about the test that people are not getting. Okay, the test is god awful. It is.
Yeah.
It is not a pleasant test.
Yeah.
It is not pleasant at all. Mm-hmm. So I know for sure that people aren't getting this test.
Right.
I've gone through it. I had to have it before surgery, and it was not great. So let's just be clear about it. People ain't doing it. One, because it has not been publicized as something that's pleasant to do.
Right.
And then two, you talked about asymptomatic.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means you have no symptoms.
That's what
come
that's
on.
It doesn't mean
make it plain
that you don't carry it.
That's right.
So let's put it in a broader spectrum.
Okay, hold on. Before you start spitting off all this stuff, right? So people know who you are. You are a healthcare professional.
Indeed, yep. I am a trained respiratory therapist. I am back in school for nursing.
So hold on. Okay, you gotta slow down. Good God, you are a trained what?
You got your nerve as fast as you talk.
But he's on the phone.
Okay, Manny.
So I'm a trained respiratory therapist.
He's a trained respiratory therapist.
You've been in healthcare.
And you've been in healthcare for how long?
16 years now.
And you're in school for nursing right now to be an RN, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Right now.
Okay. So go. So, and here's the thing, respiratory. This is all about your respiratory.
Listen, if you're paying attention and you're educating yourself, then you know what the first thing that happens with a COVID patient.
Hit your respiratory system.
So go ahead, Manny.
Right. So, and because it is, there's a misconception with that. At first, when this was presented, it was assumed that this was only a respiratory disease. Okay. Now people are coming out with all kinds of issues because of the effects of COVID.
Yeah. See,
being on the respiratory, being on a ventilator, wreaks havoc on your body. It does more than just affect your lungs. And just because you recover doesn't mean that cured. So it doesn't mean that you're going to recover everything that you've lost in your bout with the disease itself.
No, that's powerful. That's something. So just because you're recovered from COVID doesn't mean you've recovered 100% from all the other things that COVID has attached itself to.
This is true, right?
Wow.
So then the other side is, okay, if I walk in my house and asymptomatic for however long, I'm around my children, I'm around my wife, and while I'm absolutely fine, my system has not responded to it. I'm a carrier of it, but my wife and children respond. Now they actually show symptoms of it, and they are now affected by what I didn't know I was carrying. That's what asymptomatic does. It allows you to carry something that you didn't know that you were carrying, but it affects the people around you who may have an underlying condition or may have a compromised immune system that causes them to now respond to what it is you carried in unwillingly.
Right.
Good God.
So the bigger picture is, while you want to be ultra mindful, there are some people unbeknownst to them, unaware to them, that they carry something that they don't even know that they're carrying. So they don't even know to be more cautious because they didn't even know they had it.
Right. And a lot of times when you don't have something, you're not, and that's how a lot of people have contracted this disease, by not caring, just thinking that they're made of steel.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I don't feel nothing. I don't have no fever. I don't have no cough.
I don't cough.
I never get sick. Yeah. And then you find out the worst way is you find out that you carry something in, and you got grandma sick, or you got auntie sick, or you got your kids sick, and they didn't bounce back like you did, or they didn't carry it like you were able to carry it, or they couldn't recover like
and
you
you're
may
right.
have recovered.
And you're right, and that's why
right.
I haven't seen literally anybody in like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah,
and that's mainly because only my wife, and that's mainly because I have a pretty good immune system. I don't get sick often, but when I do get sick, I get sick.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I know a lot of my friends are like, man, this ain't affecting you being in quarantine because you've been in quarantine. It's not that. It's just the fact that, even when I go out a lot, I just don't go out with you. with you. And the thing about it is, it's like, I want to go places. And I mean, I'm going to tell you straight up, it makes me more defiant that the fact that somebody told me I can't go somewhere.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that's what we have going on now is the fact that people are just being defiant because they can't. So thanks for calling in. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, that was it. I just wanted to touch on it.
We're gonna
enjoy your show. I'm a big fan.
Oh, well, thank you. And we're going to keep on praying for you and, willing you back to health from that rhinoplasty surgery. All right, man.
Thanks, Manny.
All right, you have a good one. I mean, look, he had rhinoplasty.
You are ridiculous. Listen, y'all, this was great.
It was a great show.
This was a great show.
Let me just say this one thing.
Okay, go right ahead.
I do feel like there's one way that I think Trump can win this election.
Okay.
If Trump commutes Joe Exotic's sentence and lets Joe Exotic out of jail, I think he wins the election. Joe Exotic has the power to flip this election upside down for Donald. What's his middle name? Jay? Donald Trump.
Oh, I don't know what his middle name is.
Mark my words. If he lets Joe Exotic out of jail,
oh God,
he wins the election over Joe Biden. I mean, there was something else I wanted to talk about today too.
What was that?
About how Joe Biden said what he said on during the interview with Charlamagne.
Well, what was it that he said?
He said if you're a voter and you vote for Trump over him,
you're not really black or something.
If you're black, you're anti-black.
Oh, if you're black, you're anti-black.
He said it. He said it. Period. Like, yo, if you vote for Trump over him, you're anti-black. Think about that. We'll talk about it the next time.
Yeah. Come back and see us. Gabbin with the Guilders.
Because I think we're gonna come on in the middle of the week sometime.
Yeah, we're trying to figure our schedule out.
Yeah.
Saturday is definitely for us. Saturday afternoon.
We're gonna be on every.
But we might add another day.
Yeah.
So, all right. We love y'all.
We love y'all.
Y'all stay safe.
Yeah.
Make the right decisions. Use wisdom.
Yeah, man. Look, we want you to drop a like.
Yeah.
Want you to
share it with your friends. Listen, we're here on Facebook and we're also on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the links down on our pages so that you can easily access it.
And these are the ways you connect with us.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can email us some topics or email us like how you feel about our show. GabbinGuilders@gmail.com. And if you want to drop something for the podcast so you can see it further, its furtherance.
Yes.
$ Gabbin Guilders. We'll be here next week.
So
same
next time,
same place.
Y'all stay safe.
This is your
favorite
podcast of your favorite married couple.
All right.
Yeah.
See y'all.